We see some amazing companies getting ready to go public. We see this advent of AI is going to be very opportunistic and challenging at the same time for companies. So it's going to be a wonderful, I think, decade to think about what innovation can bring to the marketplace.
It's a pleasure to welcome Nelson Griggs, the president of Nasdaq. Welcome.
Great to be here.
Tell us about the panel you were just at.
Yeah, we had a great panel that really discussed a combination of the challenge with the backlog in private equity funds, which is about 30,000 companies, $3 to $4 trillion in market cap sitting there that is not having an exit. And then also, what efforts can we have to make the exits more achievable and more desirable for companies?
So where is Nasdaq in all of that? What is your opinion?
Yeah, well, Nasdaq has a central role in this where we are a company that's focused on transparency, liquidity, and really the integrity of the marketplace. We operate a marketplace that helps connect buyers and sellers both in the public marketplace and the private marketplace. So our focus is on how do we reduce the friction points, smart regulation, disclosures, things that make it easier to be a public company or more desirable, as well as having more liquidity in the private space, which is really predicated off a technology platform to do that, our brand to bring these buyers and sellers together, and also the right disclosures and data and transparency.
I've heard a few times being said that 2026 will be the year for IPOs. Do you feel that the current disruptions might change this a little?
Yeah, well, at Nasdaq, we've always dealt with disruptions, and it really depends how long those disruptions are. We did have a build in the IPO market in 2024 and 25 with more and more companies going public and getting ready to go public. And this started the year with a very constructive environment, lower interest rates coming down. Earnings were very strong in the public markets. Performance has been good. So we did anticipate and still do a very strong 2026, but there is a disruption right now, a lot of volatility. So once that does clear out, we do anticipate a very strong 2026.
For over a decade, Nasdaq has been the leader in American IPOs. What will the next decade be like for you?
Well, we still plan to be the leader in IPOs. And we do think that there is this opportunity with the current administration as well as the SEC to help make the public markets more inviting to public companies. With the idea of semi-annual reporting, potentially reducing friction in the proxy process, and just allowing companies to do what they do so well is to build great products and execute and not be so overburdened with regulations. So that's really a focus of ours. And we see some amazing companies getting ready to go public. We see this advent of AI is going to be very opportunistic and challenging at the same time for companies. So it's going to be a wonderful, I think, decade to think about what innovation can bring to the marketplace.
You mentioned innovation and AI, and technology has always been in the heart of Nasdaq. Is that there to stay?
Oh, it's definitely there to stay. So we're really a technology company ourselves. So we operate this massively scaled technology platform. We regulate all the trades that go through that. And that is really done by technology. We've done more increasingly by AI. But we also list the greatest technology companies in the world. We have a front row seat, and they're partners of ours in how we build our technology to see what is coming next. And it's amazing to think about what's coming next. So technology will always be at the forefront.
When you said you have a front seat, people do talk about a possible tech AI bubble coming up. What is your opinion?
Well, I think there's always going to be markets that get overheated and then cool down some, et cetera. But if you look at the tech power of the technology of AI, we believe this is not a trend. It's here, for decades to come, and they're going to shape the whole world. So with the markets, we'll have moments where they get a little extra excited, and then it does, back off some. So we'll see some ups and downs, but clearly this ability for this technology to provide this innovation, this next wave of great companies, we feel is very sound.
What factors should companies take into account when moving from private to public ownership?
Yeah, I think one of the big things they need to consider is what do they want to disclose to investors? Well, once you disclose something, they expect to see that time and time again. So how do you think about what you want to disclose and how that translates into your business model? The number one thing companies think about before they decide to go public is the revenue predictable and consistent, where investors can get used to the story and believe that it's a growth story over time. So the most challenging thing for a private company is if there's lumpiness, they really can't go public. So I think this idea of what you disclose, how you disclose it, and then how that translates into your business model is probably the number one important thing we talked about.
As you see, capital in motion is a central theme of the FII summit in Miami this year. What do you feel? What does it speak to you?
I think it's a very exciting theme when you think about the idea. There's so many places capital can go today, and the panelists, the discussions have all been about, okay, where is capital going? Why is it going there? And I think we're at this exciting moment in time where investors have so many opportunities to put their capital to work and just find those next great ideas. So it's a great headline.
And to sum up for you, what are the most exciting investment pools right now?
Well, we're biased to technology, but really not just technology to think about the technology companies, but how every company today sees themselves as some sort of an innovator and technology company, whether that's an industrial company, whether that's going to be a healthcare company. They're all thinking about how they leverage technology to improve outcomes for their customers and operate efficiently. And I think that's what's exciting to me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.